Hello, I'm Jeff. You may know me from the video about Skull Trumpet, or perhaps the video about all of the Saw movies, or any of these other videos. Now, I guess I'm a YouTuber these days. I don't really know what defines being a YouTuber. Maybe it's being able to make a living off of YouTube, which I arguably do. Kinda. I mean, the numbers don't lie. I just had a video that I think did decently good, and I think I made about $600 or so after taxes. And it only took about 3 months to make that video, so I'll be eating good for the next few weeks. But not only am I a creator of YouTube content, I am also a consumer of YouTube content. This has the benefit of making me uniquely in tune with you, the audience. We're the same, you and I. We could be friends in real life, at least if you're a Patreon member. Now, because I am so in touch with the audience, I'm aware that one of the worst things about watching YouTube videos are ads. You'll be watching your favorite creator talk about something that interests you, but then they just have to firstly take a quick break to thank today's sponsor, Golf Whale VPN, Roundwave Website Builder, or best of all, Spaceship Cash, because us YouTubers are obviously the people that you should listen to when it comes to financial advice. Now, as I mentioned before, spending a few months making a video and then ending up getting a payout of about $2,000 if you're lucky doesn't equal a very good monthly salary. And don't get me wrong, I think that being a YouTuber is, no one forced me or anyone else to do this, and it is sort of a privilege to have any kind of audience for your art, and for that I think pretty much every successful YouTuber is, or at least should be, grateful. But as we both know, bills still need to be paid, hence the sponsors that I mentioned before. That's why you do those. Here's a little behind the scenes fact for you. The majority of money that you'll be making, not counting like Patreon or merch, because that can vary so much from channel to channel, but the majority of the money that you'll be making as a content creator on YouTube is from your sponsors. Still, there are some channels that don't do sponsors at all. And it's always a very luxurious experience, I think. Usually these are the type of channels that have a very dedicated Patreon community behind it that enables them to essentially rely on that rather than rely on ad revenue and sponsor money in combination. However, not every channel, me for example, is able to do that. I have a bunch of awesome Patreons that is what is like keeping me afloat. Without the Patreon, I would not be able to do this literally at all because yeah, the ad revenue is so bad. But it's, all in all, still not, even with that included, a very sustainable life to lead. And so I had an idea, and that's why we're here today, gathered. What if, instead of trying to push some food delivery service or VPN, I tried to push cool, interesting, and fun projects and businesses that, first of all, might actually be of interest for you, but also, get this, have actual humans behind them. So here's the plan. I have set up an email address that you can see on screen right now. I mean, I haven't set it up as of filming this, but I'll set it up when I get home. And you can email me to sponsor a video. But before you do that, I need you to continue watching, because there's some stuff that you need to know. First of all, this is meant as a win-win kind of situation, meaning that as much as I'd love to do it for free, I'm not gonna do it for free. That would kind of defeat the whole purpose. Second of all, this doesn't mean that I will never take a sponsor on my channel again. I haven't done it for a few videos now, including the 5-hour one I just released. You're welcome, by the way. But if I can avoid taking sponsors in the future, dude, I would love that. I would love that. So the idea is that if you have anything that you want to market, perhaps you are starting an alternate reality game, perhaps you run a design business where you're freelancing, doing commission art for people, perhaps you have a newsletter that you really want to get out there, perhaps your dad runs a cool arcade bar in downtown LA. I don't know why LA was the first thing that popped into my head. Downtown Georgia? Whatever. Maybe you have an indie game that you've been developing that you're about to release and you want to do some marketing, you can do that in front of however many views that video is gonna get. And sometimes I get over 1 million views, and sometimes I get not even remotely close to that. And there won't be a view guarantee, I'll tell you that much, because that's one of the reasons that I don't want to do normal sponsors. But generally it's gonna be higher than the absolute duds, but you know, they happen every now and then. So let's talk pricing. Here's the deal. I haven't settled on a price for this. My first sponsor that I ever did on the channel, I managed to haggle quite a lot of money out of for being me. And I think it cost them like $3,500. Might be misremembering, might have been just 3. I think I originally asked for 4. Since then, I have gone as low as I think $2,000. Because it should be noted here that I live in Sweden. Free healthcare and all of that is really cool, but it isn't actually free. About 50% of what I make is gonna go to taxes. So this is not me being greedy. I'm trying to go as low as I possibly can here. So I'm not gonna say an exact number. Depending on what it is that you wanna market, I am down to discuss it a little bit. I will, however, say I will not go lower than 500. Or if it's something super mega fucking cool, then maybe. But generally, I think that's my lowest, and I'm expecting between 500 and 1,000. Now that's a lot of money, and I get that. So I'm sorry if you got your hopes up and you're like, well, I can't swing that. But I also have to try and be as fair as possible, I guess, to both myself and to you. Because when you start looking into what it costs to place ads, like getting your ad played in front of, I don't know, between, let's say, 40,000 and 1 million eyeballs, especially if those eyeballs are also in the demographic you might be aiming for, it is going to be more expensive than that generally. So yeah, I know it's a lot of money, and you know, I'm not expecting anyone to just be like, oh yeah, I've got a fucking extra $1,000 to spare right here. But maybe if the project you're working on is something you've been working on for a long time, and you think that the people that watch my videos might be interested, or you think I might do a good job in making a funny little skit or whatever to market it to people, maybe you can swing 500, maybe 600. Maybe you reach out and I find that you actually have 3 employees and you're a small business and whatever. And then I might be like, hey, it's probably gonna be closer to 2,000 for you because you seem to have a budget. But if you then tell me, actually, we're not doing very good at all, and I absolutely can't afford that, but I can do 1,000, then I'll probably be like, cool, okay. Because I'm thinking pure heart rule here. I'm not trying to haggle for hours with anyone, and if you can't do it, you can't do it. So if you have anything that you want to market, reach out to the email on screen right now, and make sure, and this is crucial, in your email, I want you to say what it is that you want to market. I want you to give a couple of sentences maybe of who you are, and then a few more sentences about what it is you're marketing. Perhaps if it's a game, you should also include some screenshots, or what type of game it is and how long you've been working on it, and give me an idea of the product in question here, but also, you know, an idea of what sort of, I guess, budget and constraints you're working within. And then you have to include an offer. You have to include an offer in the first one, because otherwise, you know, it'll take a bunch of time if I get any emails at all. I don't know if this will work at all, but if it does, you know, the back and forth always takes a lot of time. And if I do 5 back and forths and then the person goes, yeah, like, I was hoping you could do this for $50, then both of us have just kind of spent time that could have been spent better emailing each other. So there's got to be an offer in there. Hopefully that all made sense and I didn't forget anything. I kind of made this up as I went now. As I was filming, I just had a vague idea, but I think this is a good way to do it. I won't be checking this email daily or anything, but whenever I get to a stage in a video where I'm like maybe starting to finish up, or there's a lull while I do something else, and I'm like, I wonder if I'll be able to squeeze a sponsor into this one, I'm gonna go to that email and I'll look through it. And if there's anything, I'll be reaching out to you. And if everything works out, then I'll be sending you an invoice. It won't be in my name because of business reasons. That sounded shady, but it's the exact opposite. It's so that, whatever, man. You'll get an invoice, you pay that invoice, and then I'll do an ad for you. And the one thing I can guarantee is that none of these would ever be me just kinda saying. But first, a message from this video's sponsor, Indie Game. Do you like puzzles? Well, then you're gonna love Indie Game with their 15 levels. I've never done that, and I'm never gonna do that. Like, at the very least, I'll enthusiastically talk about it, but most likely, knowing myself and how my videos usually go, I'll make a fucking, like a skit or something. I'll put time into it. I want everyone to be pleased with the collaboration if it happens. So yeah, no idea if this is gonna work, no idea if any of you are gonna reach out or if this is gonna work for anyone, but I think the idea is cool and I wanted to give it a shot. So if you or anyone you know has a business, a project, anything, and a few $100s to spare, please reach out. Let's see if we can make this work. It'd be so fucking cool for me to not have to stress about rent every fucking month and also be able to provide marketing for people that otherwise might not be able to really advertise anywhere. Because I don't know if you can get very far. You can do like Facebook and Twitter ads, I guess, for a few $100s, but yeah, I don't know, maybe it's not the same, I think. Very rambly. Hope this made sense. I'm hoping to hear from any of you, and that's all I had to say today. Bye-bye.